only going to happen if we do what we need to do. And Tanya and I have been really clear about what that needs to look like. So there are a few things I'm going to be really straight with you about tonight, and I hope that you really hear it, not as a, I'm calling you out. I'm not calling you out because you're wrong. I'm calling you out because we're going to do this amazingly well. So number one, you are all leaders. Now, some of you, that makes you uncomfortable to hear that, right? Because you're like, oh my gosh, I'm not there. I don't have that. Bull, okay? You're a leader. The reason you're a leader is that each and every one of you, yes, has either a customer or an ambassador or both. You are a leader. You are a business owner. Now, we're not all in the same place, and that's totally cool. And we're not all targeting the same goals, and that's totally cool. But we are all leaders, and we all have responsibilities that come with that. And when we signed our Plexus agreement to be an ambassador, we took that on, okay? So the messaging that we have for you each and every week, and in particular tonight, I want you to just contextualize it that way. I am a leader. I have a responsibility towards myself to do the best work that I'm going to do, and I have a responsibility to each and every one of those customers. Whether it's 1 or 101, it's irrelevant, okay? So I'm going to ask you a really tough question off the bat. Are you ready? Okay. And if the answer is yes, you're going to put your hand on your head. And if the answer is no, you're going to put your hand on your nose. Okay? First question. Do you trust that Tanya and I can lead you to be the best you can be? That is really, really bold, and some of you might not want to admit it, but I'm asking you outright. Do you trust that Tanya and I can lead you to do your best? And I saw a lot of this, which is fantastic. And it's really risky to do this, but this is what I need you to do. If you're this, you need to rethink why that is. You need to stand up, not here publicly necessarily, but with a message to me or a message to Tanya, and be open and bold about what's holding you back. Because here's the thing, okay? It is not a typical standard go through a certain coursework, go through a certain degree program or an apprenticeship kind of training. But it is very clear and distinct. This is what people do to have a network marketing business. There's no surprise. There is no magic. There is no, I got to do my own thing. Literally, we train with how to do it, okay? Now, you're going to make mistakes in that, and I promise you that is part of the journey. I teach. I cannot teach children until they are willing to make mistakes, because that's how we learn. And adults are just taller children. We learn in the same way. We have to struggle with it, and we have to step through it, and we have to mess up to get to a better place. But this is what I want to tell you. Tanya and I have 2.5 years in on this, and there are certain mistakes you don't need to make because we've already made them. You don't need to go through those same mistakes. You have your own set of mistakes. I'm going to tell you exactly what they are. I'm going to tell you exactly what the mistakes are that you need to make. But there are certain mistakes you don't need to make because we've already made them, pushed over them, pushed through them, are continuously working ourselves to be better at what we're doing, learning from the best, and passing that on to you. So if you genuinely trust that we are the leaders that can do this and support you through this, you're literally going to believe us when we say, don't do this, because it's going to make you a better person. Okay, it's going to make you a better network marketer. It's going to make you a better leader, and the business is going to grow the way you want. Okay, now not everybody wants the same thing. Some of you want a hobby, and that is fine. Okay, there's no judgment. That's all I wanted at first. I wanted to get my products for free, and I was fine with that. That's where I was. That was a match with what I needed to be doing. That was perfect, okay? That's not where I am now. And you need to, number one, figure out what it is you want. And if you want a hobby, then hobby behavior is fine. If you want to build a thriving business that's going to have a $500 a month or a $1,000 a month goal, you need to do what we say. This generates that. And if you want to go senior gold, ruby, senior ruby, emerald, whatever it is, then you have to do the work to get there. Okay? So here is where you don't need to make mistakes. And it is very likely when you hear me say this now, some of you are going to be going, oh my gosh, I did that. I may have even done that today. No judgment. You can't know better until we tell you better. So I don't want you to go, oh, she saw this, she saw me do this, and so she's calling me out. That's not what it's about. We see it all over the place. We see it within our team. We see it in our sidelines. I see it in other network marketing business. I see it all over my Facebook. So this is not about your having done something that made us go, oh my gosh, we got to fix this. These are pitfalls that people are falling into. Some of us have been through them. I got a big high five there for me because I went through all these. So did Tanya. So I'm going to tell you right now, okay? And literally write these down. This is your commitment. No more cheesy graphics, okay? Now, if you are doing this, you're doing this because you want it for you want it for the people that you're helping to share, and you want to create the business. Small, medium, big, it doesn't matter. You want this. So right now, say to yourself, I am a network marketing professional. I am working to learn the skills to be a network marketing professional. And professionals present themselves as a professional. So you've got to set aside the cheese and the gimmicky stuff. It goes around, okay? It goes around. You got to avoid that, okay? It's tempting when you see some of those things. You think, ooh, that's going to catch some people's eye. But I'll tell you right now, and Tanya has told us 1,422 times at least, this is what catches people's eye. You. And I was the girl that did not want to put the selfies on. She did not want to put the video on. I fought it and fought it and fought it. And what happened? My business did not grow. My business did not grow when I was fighting it. You know what? I'm putting selfies on now. You know what's happening? My business is growing. It's literally, okay? So set the cheesy graphics aside, put you out there, okay? There are some non-compliant things that are going around. If it has a star, a celebrity, mention of a celebrity, it's non-compliant. As Plexus, we do not pay people for their endorsement. So it doesn't matter that you saw it on somebody else's timeline. If it is a star, a celebrity, or whatever, it's non-compliant. It's non-compliant. We don't have endorsements by any kind of celebrity. Get rid of it. If it's a graphic of a cartoon character or an animated figure or anybody that's on TV, it's non-compliant because that is intellectual property that is owned by that artist, that TV show, that whatever. It is non-compliant. So set those aside, okay? Don't use them. You'll see them. I promise you, you're going to see them out there because we have to learn by mistake sometimes. And you've been told, duplicate, see a really good post, duplicate it. You know, Julie, you told us to do that. Yes, but these are the ones you don't duplicate. So no more non-compliant celebrities, cartoon characters, all that stuff with Plexus, okay? It's non-compliant. Put yourself there. And if you're struggling with that, then go choose a beautiful graphic of your yard, your home, your children, your life, your, you know, a sunset, whatever. Okay? That's what is going to, well, that's what's going to work. So again,
for just 1 second, I'm sorry.
Please.
And inspirational posts are amazing. Like anything that talks about that, something you're truly passionate about, something you believe in. Maybe it's a mindset thing. Maybe it's a, you know, something about your community or anything that you find inspirational. If you find those types of posts, I mean, if you look at the way people post on Instagram, that's the way people post on Instagram. It's all about that. That is the draw. That's the attraction marketing piece. So I just wanted to throw that in there. Sorry.
Don't apologize, because actually it's a great segue, because you just said something and we've said it all the time. And I want you to be genuinely honest. When we talk about attraction marketing, I fully understand what that is. I wouldn't say with confidence, I fully understand what you mean by attraction marketing. So I fully understand, show me your answer. I fully understand what you mean by attraction marketing. I'm still not really clear on what I mean by attraction marketing. Okay, thank you. Okay, so in a nutshell, and Tanya's the queen on this, but this is how it goes. When people see you living on social media or in person, they want what you have. Maybe not literally, maybe it's not that they want that camper or that pool or that pair of shoes. They want the joy and living out loud that you are experiencing because you're content and you have wonderful things going on and you're celebrating that. Attraction marketing is drawing people to you because of what you put out there. It's your positivity. It's your outlook on life. It's how you give back to the world. It's how you're living out loud because life is good. Now, again, the teacher in me, sometimes it's easier to teach by what it is not. Attraction marketing is not bitching. Attraction marketing is not venting. Attraction marketing is not reposting the same thing that 8 other people just posted. Attraction marketing is not lying. Attraction marketing is not something that people are just going to scroll on by. Okay. And yes, we have to learn what catches people's eye and what they draw to, and you get better at it. This is where you are going to make mistakes. So the mistakes you're going to make are, I'm not going to get the right words exactly the right time. Maybe some of my posts aren't going to be as attractive as others. Those are the mistakes you need to make to learn better. The mistakes you need to stop making, and I mean stop it right now. I want you to stop this. We already said the cheesy graphics, the non-compliant celebrity use. Here's another one. Stop it right now. Stop it right now. Stop posting what you just saw somebody post 2 minutes ago. Please, 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 because it makes us all look like idiots. You don't look attractive when you go and just copy and paste what somebody just posted. It doesn't matter how good it is. If it is good, save it. Absolutely save it. Do it in 3 days, do it in 6 days, do it in 3 weeks. It doesn't matter. Don't do it right now. Stop it. and that is for you to know that people have an eye on many of us all at the same time. And I have had people had the conversation with me. Well, I know it's a cult because y'all say the same thing all the time, right? It's not believable. It is not attractive. It does not bring people to say, I want that. Okay. So you have to go, oh, wow, what a great post. Set it aside. You got to put the pause on it. Minimum 48 hours, please. Minimum 48 hours. And when you go to repost it, do not post the exact same thing. You've got to change the graphic. You have to switch up the words so it sounds like it's coming from your voice. You need to change the hashtags, okay? That is attraction marketing. It has to sound and look like you. But Julie, I don't know how to do that. Then make mistakes. Make mistakes. I make up hashtags. They don't really exist. That's really easy to do. Okay, you can't go wrong with that. Especially on Facebook because they don't have the same importance that they do on Instagram. So just make them up. Like if you actually look at my hashtags, they're crazy. Okay, that's just how I do it. Oh, but what if I pick the wrong graphic? Just a sec, Angie. Okay, pick the wrong graphic. But at least it's different. At least it's you. At least it's something that you thought of. And you learn more by how people react to your post and by seeing what the response was or was not to be able to go, maybe if I had, and that is part of the learning journey. So those are the mistakes you need to make. Make the mistakes by doing it your way wrong so that you figure out what your way is. Okay? Angie, real quick.
Just to reiterate what you're saying, I've actually, done like a status write-up, the entire thing in my own words with product info and everything in a nice graphic. And then I post it and I do like my own hashtags on it. I post it 5 minutes later. I see it on 3 other people's walls that we all, and this is just to explain how fast it gets around. 3 other people's walls that we're all from the same little small town or close to it. We all have lots of friends in common. And I've gotten inboxes saying, hey, I saw you so-and-so, so-and-so, and so-and-so post about this. And just like that, all 2, 3, 4 of our integrity is gone because we're all posting the exact same thing.
Absolutely. So case in point. Thanks so much, Angie. Okay, here is another question for you, because this is going to be another stop it. Okay, so again, you're going to tug on your ear if it's yes, and you're going to touch your chin if it's no. Yes, no. When you guys talk about pre-qualifying an ambassador, I know what you mean. Yes, no. Okay, thank you. So here is the thing. We know the compensation plan inside out, backwards and upside down, and it works like a charm if you work with it, okay? You are good, sweet, kind people, and you want what's best for others. You also need to be a teeny tiny bit selfish when it comes to helping people place themselves correctly in terms of what they purchase and how. You are the expert. Well, I really don't know it. Yeah, but you know it better than the person that you're sharing it with. So in that conversation of two, you are definitely the expert, okay? And when we talk about pre-qualified, we're making you the expert. Here is the thing. If they only want one product, you do not discuss the word, the idea of ambassador or join ever. Do not. If they are only going to use one product, yes, even if it's the bag of Slim, you do not entertain any conversation of any kind about what it means to join, about what the ambassador pricing is. You do not. You don't say wholesale. You don't say this is an option. You don't say there's 3 ways to buy. If they are going to use one product, they need to be a customer. In my opinion and Tanya's opinion, always a preferred customer, always. If they don't like the auto ship, then they're a retail customer. But ambassador is not an option. It's not an option if they only want 2 products. It's not part of your discussion. When we say pre-qualify, it means before you ever discuss a price or how they're going to use your website, you have outwardly, demonstratively, without a shadow of a doubt, had the explicit conversation with them where they have had to commit to how willing they are to use how many products for how long. And even if they're saying, yeah, I'll try 3 products for a month, they're still not ambassador material. They're not. So ambassador only comes into the conversation when they are committed to giving these products 60 to 90 or more days. That's at least 2 months, 3 would be better. And they're going to use the Slim and at least 2 other products or the Joyum combo. That's the only time you can talk ambassador. But Julie, sometimes they go on the website and they ask, it's easy, they say, you do not qualify for that. End of story. But I saw, what's the ambassador pricing? You do not qualify for that. Repeat after me. You do not qualify for that. You are the expert. I don't care if you're shaking in your boots. You put yourself out there. I am the expert. You do not qualify for ambassador pricing because they don't. A person who is buying a bag of Slim as an ambassador is no good for themselves and is no good for you. You have wasted all the energy that you've invested.
Julie,
so don't do it.
Sorry, I think Barb has something she'd like to say, I think.
Well, actually, I have a question. What if it's somebody who wants to run with the business but doesn't have the money to buy the products yet?
Excellent question. Money up front, okay? Money up front. The only exception would be, okay, I have done this before. I've said, you can pay your $46.46 now if you already have the names of the 2 or 3 people that are ready to jump in. That's the only time that and Tanya may have a different take on this, but that's the only time I ever entertained the conversation of someone just paying just the membership. Who are the 2 or 3 people that you've already talked to? Well, go talk to them first, find them the second they're ready, because as soon as they sign up, they can share. Like that there's no delay. There's no having to wait a week or 2 weeks for their website to be up and running. The second they sign on, those people can go on. So I specifically say, what are the names of the people? What are they going to buy? If not, if they're running the business, they have to pay their membership and get their welcome pack. It's not a question for me. That's just how we do business. And we have to train that way, and we have to duplicate that way, because they need to do the same. Because somebody who's saying, I want to run with the biz, I haven't got the money, I'm just going to pay the membership and see how I do, they are not going to speak with confidence. They are not going to have the same conversation. They are not going to have anybody join them. They are going to get discouraged. They are going to quit. End of. That's my take. And I'm coming off a little bit like in your face. Maybe I'm too close to my screen, but I'm like, this is with love in my heart, people. This is how we're going to do this well. And I've done it wrong. So please believe me, do it right. Marilyn, what do you want to ask? You're not quite unmuted there.
So I had an ambassador join. She did it on her own with the Bag of Slim and joined. She was supposed to that day join as a customer. And then that night she sent me a message saying, I'm an ambassador. And I'm like, what?
Yep.
So what do you do then?
That is
she's already
why.
done it.
That is why we have always trained you, do it with them or for them. So when people are ready to order, I say, so I can do the typing for me and you can tell me your personal information over the phone. Or if you want to do the typing yourself, I want to be on the other end of the phone walking you through it. Or let's sit side by side and do this together. It's always the best outcome. And I know people are independent and they want to go do things for themselves. And I'm not going to say 100% of the time that's happened. I've had independent people, but I give a very scripted, detailed, this is what you are to do. Okay. And I don't know what your conversations were before that, Marilyn, but before I would ever even think about giving them the website, I would have questioned and questioned and questioned and questioned and questioned in a way that I knew with confidence that they knew they were going in to hit shop or subscribe or join. And I use that language.
Yeah.
You are going to use the word subscribe, or you are going to use the word join, which is now not join, it's enroll, sorry.
Enroll, yeah.
Yeah. So no judgment, Marilyn, but the learning for you is that you can't let people do it on their own. You have to be side by side with them. And physically, if that's not possible, then it's on the other end of the phone, or it's with the detailed messaging. And yeah, that's because otherwise people are going to misplace themselves. You are the expert. You are
She
the
didn't
expert.
misplace it. I asked her if it was a mistake, and she said, no, I want to do this.
Okay, so then I'm going to follow up with her now and say, okay, so you said you wanted to do this. I'm going to make the assumption that when you enroll, that's because you're running the business. So here's the first thing you need to do as a business. So I need you to get a pen and paper, and I want you to write the name of at least 100 people. I want to check back with you tomorrow night and see how you've done with that list, okay? If she chose that route, then start training her like that route. You know, I mean that's reality. If you want to grow, that's what you're going to have to do. You can do it. You can be bold. You can be the expert. Okay? Mm-hmm. So now I asked you if you knew what pre-qualify meant, and I described it. It's more clear. It's still fuzzy what pre-qualify means. So I'm very clear on what pre-qualifying means. It's still fuzzy for me. Okay, awesome. So on your don't list, don't talk about enroll until you've pre-qualified them, okay? Cade, why are you escaping downstairs? Oh boy, this ought to be interesting. Okay, so next, here we go. Let's do the first answer. The first answer is point to your eye, and the second answer is point to your mouth. I'm going to ask you a question, okay? You're going to have two options, option 1, option 2. What is the answer to this question? Which is more important? Sending as many messages as you possibly can, working really hard to make sure it's the perfect message and sending it to fewer people. Okay? sending as many messages as you possibly can, taking your time and crafting it really, really well and only sending it to a few people. Okay. Confession time. I am a perfectionist. I am achievement oriented. When you look at my leadership styles, circumflex, you see that really clearly. Achiever, perfectionist. So I spent a lot of time doing this. And I wasn't listening to the professionals. And without a doubt, scientifically proven, this is the right answer. But Julie, what if I say the wrong thing? If you say the wrong thing to the right person, you're still ahead of the game. This is a numbers game business. That's the secret. The secret is not waiting for that perfect person. It's not the perfect message. It's not saying exactly the right thing at the right time. It's not sending it exactly at the right moment. There are some of those things that help, but this is a numbers game. It's literally a numbers game, okay? You have to put the message out to hundreds of people to sign up a dozen. Sorry, that's really what it is. So that's why you need to know if you want a hobby business or if you want a network marketing business. If you want a hobby business, you can be a little more selective. You can send some nicely crafted messages once in a while and kind of hope for the best. But if you want these incentives, if you want these double bonuses this month, if you want to grow, if you want that cruise, if you want to rank, you got to go to this. And this is hard for me. Okay? But that is what it is. I'm not lying. It's the truth. It's a numbers game. You literally have to send out hundreds of messages. The return rate is about 10% if you're lucky. Okay? That means to sign 10 people, you need to send more than 100 messages. So you haven't got time for this. And the perfectionist in me finds that hard, but it is the reality. Okay? I want to grow my business. I'm sending out 500 messages this month. That's my target. That sounds crazy, right? But if I want to hit Ruby, I need 30, 40 more people consistently using the product. That means I have to sign more than that. So I have to send 500 messages. That's all there is to it. So July for me is 500 messages. And you can keep asking me on that because that's hard for me. That is going to be hard, but I'm going to do it because I want to do it. It is a numbers game. Now, if that scares you, I totally understand. It scares me too. But I told you I was going to be real with you, and that's the reality. So try to set your perfectionism aside and go for it. This is the mistake you do make. The mistake not to make, waiting. The mistake not to make, avoiding. The mistake not to make, thinking that if you get it exactly right, you're going to get a better prospect. What you need to do is send the message, and then if it doesn't go exactly the way that you want it, then you learn from it. I did it the other night. I said, Tanya, this is what I sent. She said, but this is what you should have said. And she was totally right. Learning. Send them. Tanya, you were going to jump in.
I was just going to say that the numbers game. If you're finished with your portion, then I want to talk about the numbers game.
I would say to then is I'm going to say on my don't list or my stop it list, stop looking for the perfect person. The answer is, who do I send this to? The answer is literally everyone. But the answer is everyone. But I think the question, who do I send this to? The answer is literally everyone. Start with those you're more comfortable with, whether that's warm or cold, whether that's friends or family, whether that's strangers or grocery market, doesn't matter. But the answer is to the question, who do I prospect? The answer is everyone. So stop looking for the perfect people. Stop waiting for the words to be perfect and stop avoiding and just get her done. Just get her done.
Perfect. Thank you, Julie. Thank you for being so good. I love it. Thank you. So I just want to, on the tails of that, I just want to talk to you guys a little bit about the whole idea of fear and doubt and hesitation, because they're all the same thing. Okay. And you know that I'm a huge lover of personal development. It is what has allowed me to stay at the rank that I am at. I've never fallen below my rank. I've gotten really close to my next rank on numerous occasions, and then have fallen behind that a little bit, but I've never fallen behind my rank. And I know that that's rare. And I know the reason is because I do pour into myself, not because I think I know everything. I don't know everything. And that's why I keep learning. Okay. But like Julie said, I've made lots of mistakes along the way. It's just, that's how we learn. Like, that's just the way it is. And so what I want to share with you tonight was just a few words about allowing yourself, and I'm going to say the F word that we're not supposed to say and ever as grown-ups, failure. Like, it's not a bad word. It's actually a really good word. And as a matter of fact, I would challenge you to fail a little bit so that you can learn and get better. Don't be afraid to fail. I do it all the time. Every day I make a mistake, or 10 or 25, like whatever. I have learned not to hang on to those mistakes and to look forward. I'm never looking back anymore. And I'm trying really hard not to look to the side, ever. I mentioned my rank a moment ago. I also don't hinge my life on points. What I hinge on is setting small goals with 3 simple steps to reach them. And that's what I'm going to invite you guys to do tonight. I'm going to explain that a little bit better in a second. I want to start by talking about this phrase. You'll never make money at that. Julie mentioned that this is a numbers game. So let me draw this out for you. When you start in network marketing, you're on your own. You're all by yourself in a field. You share with people, you share scared, you fail forward. This is how you're going to succeed. You share with people, you make mistakes, whatever. You are the cornerstone of your business, and you share with these people. Some people join you, some people don't. Okay, that's fine. As you start to share, your people start to share, and your organization will then start to multiply. Okay, that cannot happen unless you share scared. If you're waiting for that perfect moment, it won't happen. I want to give you this analogy right now, the hang glider. Okay, nothing to do with network marketing. But imagine, I've never done this before, but this is just a story that I read. You're taking off to hang glide. You got to get a bit of a run for it. You've got the big apparatus, and you're gonna jump over some sort of high cliff hill thing, I guess. You decide at the last minute, oh, I can't. What's going to happen? You've got a little bit of momentum going, and what's going to happen is it's not going to look pretty. It's not going to be pretty. And if you want this to work, you kind of have to jump off the cliff a little bit and be willing to make a few mistakes. Okay. The numbers don't lie in network marketing. There is no person at the top making all the money. You have the same opportunity that all the top leaders in our company had. None of them possess anything different than we all do. The difference is this: the fear, the doubt, the hesitation. They pushed through it. They worked through it. Now, some of you were at convention with me, and you heard these leaders on stage say, if I can do it, you can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. And that is so true. I also heard them say, if you did it once, you can do it again. And that's what this re-rank incentive is all about. If you did it once, you can do it again. If I can do it, you can do it. Like, it's not rocket science, but what we say between our ears, or what we tell ourselves between our ears, will derail that in 3 seconds or less. Okay? And what we have to do is grow so that does not happen. Now, I'm going to give you some tools, because I know we're getting on in time. I'm going to give you some tools, okay? So that when you're sharing with people, you have a better idea of what we're talking about. I don't want to give you the exact words. That's called a script. And quite honestly, we give people the ideas for a script, but it's like the posting. You want to make it you. You want it to be your voice, or people aren't going to want to talk to you about this. The prospecting that I did today, the talking to people, the sharing that I did today with people would have been things like, gosh, I went to share with one girl for the very first time and realized I hadn't answered a message of hers from 2011 before I ever did Plexus. It was a perfect opener. You know, it wasn't exactly how I was going to talk. I'm like, yo, Lacey, like, I didn't get back to you on this. You must have thought I was really rude. And she goes, well, I probably did at the time, but I forgot all about it. What's up? Perfect opening to talk to her. And it just organically happened. We had a conversation and we have a phone call set up. But the point is, I was myself. Like, oh, shoot, I didn't answer Lacey. Like, just very authentic. You don't have to try to do something contrived that isn't you. You should feel comfortable in your skin when you're talking to people. You should feel like, it's just an extension of how you socialize. It's relationship building. Okay. I want to give you another analogy here. You go to buy a cell phone. This has happened to me so many times. This is why this rings true for me. You go to buy a cell phone, and the girl or the guy's at the counter. So you go up and you're like, yeah, my cell phone's like so old and outdated, and I want a new cell phone. They take out the cell phone and they tell you every freaking feature of that cell phone, all the bells and whistles, all the giga, mega, tetra, whatevers, and all the bells and whistles and all the wonderful things it can do, and the fireworks it can shoot at the bottom. And the thing is, you caught none of that. Your eyes glazed over. That's how your prospect feels if you say too much at once. So this is what I would suggest that you do. I mentioned being yourself. Literally 2 or 3 sentences. Like when Lacey said, "What's up?" to me tonight, I said, "You know what, Lacey? I actually want to talk to you about Plexus. I know you've seen my posting, LOL. Like, cause come on, as if she hasn't. Okay." And she responded back with one of those GIF things. It was like, ah, ha, 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 because it's true. And the conversation ensued from there. But my opener, the thing that allowed her to relax and come back and talk with me, was just me being me with her in the relationship that we're in. It was relatable to her. It made sense to her. I'm not talking about speaking with a stranger. I'm just talking about your market, your warm network, the people that you make, that Frank's list that we talk about, or building your network list. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. Last thing you want that person to do when you send them a message is like, get me out of this message. Like, I don't want to have anything to do with this girl. So let's talk about, I said goal setting. So what I want you to do is I want you with your sponsor, okay, or on your own, whatever you want to do, you need to set a goal. This goal needs to be something you can measure, something that's realistic, something that you can attain this month. July. June, we said bye-bye to June. We're going to July now, okay? What is your goal? Do you want 3 people to join you this month? Do you want a double rank up bonus? Do you want a re-rank bonus? Do you want a customer and an ambassador? Would you like to get your products paid for? Do you want to make $500? Would you like to make $1,000? I want you to think about what your goals are. Write it down. That's homework. This training is going to go up on the team page, and I'm going to get you to take a picture of your goal and put it in the comments. We're going to get some awesome dialogue happening because of this, okay? You're going to write your goal down. Then you're going to create 3 steps that's going to help you get there. These 3 steps might be things you do multiple things of each of the 3 every single day, but they're things you need to be doing consistently every day in order to reach those goals. I'm going to give you some examples. If I was going to learn how to fly a plane, I need to know how to take off, I need to know how to fly, and I need to know how to land. Now, there's more stuff than that in there. Hello, or I'm not getting on a plane again. But those 3 things are the nuts and bolts of what I need. What are the nuts and bolts of what you need to reach your goal? You might not know the answer right now. That means you need to go to your sponsor, or if your sponsor isn't active, go to somebody on this call and ask for help. Okay. Message me. I will help you. Okay. Give you another one. An architect needs to assess client needs, create a design, and they communicate the specific designs that can be built so that they can make a decision. That's what an architect does. Okay. As a Plexus ambassador, in order to sign 3 people up this month, there are 3 things you need to do every day. You need to reach out to people every single day. The numbers game is so important. Just one sec. I think somebody's got their hand up. Julie? Oh, sorry. She's going number 1. Number 2, once you've reached out to people, guys, don't be upset. Don't own this emotionally. They may ignore you. They may not answer you right away. They have reasons, but they're not you. It's not you. It's them. You have to give them between 8 and 10 follow-ups sometimes. So step 2, follow up. And you don't wait 2 months to follow up. I'll tell you, I used to be scared to follow up. You know why? I thought I was bothering my friends. You're not bothering anybody. You're offering them In many cases, hope, a solution to their financial future. That was me. You're offering them health. And in many cases, and most, you're offering them happiness in coupling those two things together. Okay? So I would say to you, you need to, Julie said the stop it's a little while ago. I'm going to say the knock that offs. Don't worry about that. You're not bothering anybody. You're bothering yourself by worrying about that, honestly. So that doubt, that hesitation, that fear, I'm back there again. The follow-up is so key, that it is the key to this business. So step 2 really should be step 1, except that you don't have a follow-up unless you prospect. So you're going to prospect as many people as possible. You're going to be as authentic as you can. You're going to say few words, and you're going to reach out. You can reach out about the business. Don't be shy to do that. If you prefer to speak to some people about the products, that's great too. And you just say, you know what? I don't know if you've noticed me posting about this, or you might even start with, listen, have you tried Plexus? Literally. Like, just say, hey, Joe, have you tried Plexus yet? Like, people will be like, no, what is it? Right? And then you can say, it makes me feel great. I'd love to share more with you. Just simple, simple, simple. Okay? Teams grow fast when they're in a fearless state. And the last thing I want to leave you guys with is that statement, and I want to explain it to you. Momentum. A lot of people think that momentum means that you are signing up 20 people a month. That's not true. Momentum means you're signing between 1 and 5 people a month, okay? And that your team is duplicating it. That is momentum. Momentum isn't you on a hamster wheel working your tail off forever, okay? Or a residual income, which is the income that you keep making after doing something once, would not be a thing. Passive income would not exist, okay? What you do now and the work that you do now to grow your team, that will breed momentum, and that momentum will keep going. How do I know this? Because that's happening now on our team. And that all started with a couple of people agreeing that they wanted to go with the opportunity. Okay. So trust me when I say momentum isn't that you're hitting it out of the water and you're like, you've got all these people signing up with you every month. That's not momentum. Momentum is when you are doing a healthy 1 to 5 per month and you have other people in your team starting to do it because you're duplicating it and you're following these steps we're talking about. Simple, attainable, measurable, realistic. That's what it's about. Okay? So the 3 easy steps. Your homework is this. I want you to state your goal on a piece of paper. Look, if we can read it and it's written down, it doesn't matter. Don't make it fancy. You don't have time for that. You got to reach out to people. So write it down. Write down your 3 steps. If you don't know what they are, ask for help. So state your goal and do your 3 steps. Okay? Awesome. I just wanted to open it up to see if anybody had any questions or comments or ask for clarification. Go ahead, Angie.
When you were going through the first step, second step, what was the 3rd step?
I didn't say. Prospecting is your first step.
Yep.
Following up is your 2nd step. And your presence on social media is your 3rd step.
Okay.
So, and your presence on social media should definitely be a Plexus post per day. It doesn't even you don't have to say Plexus. You can just have your pink drink. I know so many of you are so good with that. And then your lifestyle posting around that, your hobbits, your passions, things that make you. So that if there was a band, if you had to design a billboard of yourself to put up, in Moncton on beside the road, people would go, oh, that's Angie, right? There's her hunting and her fish and her kids and her hubby and her pink drink. Okay. Thank you for that, because I forgot. All right, guys. So listen, the key is support and the key is consistency. And we're really excited to build this with you this month and see where we're going to head it out to. Okay. It was a great meeting tonight. Went longer than we said, but thank you for sticking with it. Awesome. Okay. So I'm going to post this on the team page after it has a chance to upload to Facebook. Have a great night, everybody. And thank you for attending. You're doing yourself a world of good. See ya.